everyone, and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So this is just a quick intro into yesterday's video that I filmed. For some reason the footage for the intro has disappeared and I don't quite know what's happened, so this is just a really quick intro. This is our family of four's laundry routine. I don't have specific days that I do washing or anything like that, but it just depends when the basket gets full, and the basket is very full, as you'll see in this video. I hung most of it outside, but then typical Scottish weather changed and it started to rain, so I had to bring it in and finish some of it off inside. So we don't actually have a dryer, but we have a washer dryer. I tend not to use that during the day if I'm doing a couple of loads, because then it obviously means I can't put another wash on. So at the end of the night, I only had a couple of things that need to go in the dryer, so they managed to go in there while the rest just got hung up, and that was put on the clothes horse in our bedroom. So that's the only thing I don't like, is hanging clothes in my house, finding spaces for where it fits, but I make it work with the spaces that I've got. And this is just what you have to do when you live here in Scotland and the weather changes every 5 minutes. So I really hope that you enjoy this video and it gives you that little bit of motivation just to get all your laundry and all your washing all done and dusted, washed, dried, put away, and it'll make you feel so much better once you're done. So let's just get started. So the first part of my laundry routine will be to check every room that we have in the house, just to make sure there isn't any clothes lying around. As you can see, both my babies got dressed in our bedroom today, so their jammies were in there from last night, and as you can see, stuff is hidden behind the door as well. I just want to make a note, please excuse that messy pile there at the top of our stairs, because there is no skips or dumps or charity shops or donation places open at the moment. We have just sort of piled a few things up there until we can obviously get that out of the house. And that's kind of the place that I know my son's not going to dig through, so we thought that was out the way and it was a little bit better. So the first thing I do when it comes to laundry is I separate it usually into 3 piles, so your darks, your whites and your towels. Obviously if I've got wools or denim then I can do more piles, but we didn't, because we're in lockdown, we're basically just in our comfy clothes all the time at the moment, so nothing too fancy. And I separate it all out and decide which pile's bigger and which should go in first. And yeah, we just go from there. The spray you see me using here is the one that I use really regularly. It is the best one that I have found. It takes out really good stains and grease marks. Obviously with 2 young kids I do have a lot of dirty marks on their clothing, so I found it to be the best one. I did show it in my nighttime cleaning routine, which I will leave linked in the cards if you want to check that out. It's super cheap. I think it's like £1 from like your Home Bargains or your B&M or probably even Asda, but I found it to be one of the best ones that I've found, and it seems to work for me at the moment. So the laundry detergent you see me using here are actually Aldi's own Almat. It's probably similar to like a Persil. I find it to be absolutely perfect for what I need. I like to still get non-bio just because I've got young kids and obviously their skin is a little bit more sensitive than us. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview of our garden. Where you see the chairs up there, there is a really bad muddy spot. We actually had my daughter sandpit there last year, and it's left muddy spot that we need to get reseeded, our little decking area put in. That tent is temporary until we can get our shed for our bikes, and the mess that you saw at the side of the tent there is actually stuff that again we need to take to the dump, but with everything closed just now we have piled it up there, and I hate how it looks, but it works for now, I suppose. So as you can see, I have the retractable washing line. I find it really handy that I can just put it away when we're not using it. It's not in the way for the kids to be out there when they're playing, and it's just another thing for my son to touch and possibly break. So I like the fact that that can go away when I am not using it, and yeah, it just tidies up my garden massively. I've decided to take out my indoor washing line that I use sometimes in the house during the winter especially. That's there to hang out some of the towels just to get as much done as possible before the weather changes. But like in a second you'll see with the click of the fingers the weather started to change, so I ended up having to bring it all in. Thankfully it had all been out for a while and it dried, and just like magic my husband helped me bring it in, and so that made things so much easier. So for my final wash of the day I put a load in. This was just after dinner time. I put this load in knowing that I could put about half of it back in to use the dryer, as I knew this was the end of the night, and the other half was going to be hung upstairs on my clothes horse once it was finished. And so as you can see, that's pretty much how my laundry routine finishes. I take it all upstairs once it is been dried. I'm not a massive person that loves to iron. Obviously I iron things that are important like work shirts and things that need to be ironed, but most of this is just casual clothes and comfy clothes that is totally fine not to be ironed. So I pop it all away, put myself and my husband's stuff away, I put my son and my daughter's stuff away, and then I pretty much finished up for the night. As you can see, this is just, it changed. I couldn't get my third load hung out, which the sun could have been shining until about 9 o'clock, but it decided to rain that afternoon. But that's Scotland for you. So I managed to get the other stuff hung inside, and then the next day I was able to put that away with the stuff that had dried in the washing machine as well. So yeah, that is pretty much how my laundry routine goes. As you can imagine, it changes as and when and how full your laundry basket is, and obviously with the weather here it changes all the time. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video and it gives you the motivation to get your laundry done, get that washing basket emptied, get it all done and put away so that you can just sit back and relax and yeah, just chill out. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up for me, like and subscribe down below, and I will catch you in my next video. Thank you, bye!